how to find.
And we are live. Hello, everyone. My name is Magdalena, and this is Dan and Dan Malloy from Malloy Sales Training. And as every week for the last 8 weeks, we will be talking, and mostly Dan will be talking and sharing with you about the language of communication and how can you make your life more powerful, fulfill your goals and dreams by using his method, the method that basically changed his entire life and helped a lot of his clients. I mean, all of his clients, not only their businesses, but as well their personal lives. So, without the further ado, please welcome Dan Malloy.
Thank
Dan,
you, thank you,
the
Mud.
stage is yours.
Thank you, my dear. I appreciate it, and I always love being here with you when we do this. And I'm thrilled because this is doing this training program for individuals is something I've wanted to do for many years, and we finally, with your help, we're doing it right. And I just want to report to everybody that typically I work with companies. I'm down here actually with a client now. This company has 6 auto repair and tire stores in the Greensboro, North Carolina market, and they're very good business. We had a big team meeting last night. There was like 55 or so people in the meeting, and what we were doing, I've been working with this company for a year and a half, and we've really grown their business dramatically, and just really created a culture of commitment. As Maja said, we I call my program my philosophy piece, the language of commitment. And why is it they call it the language of commitment is because I've determined and realized at this point in life that it's the exchange of commitments that produces every everything. you know and when we promise, like here with this particular type of company, they promise to do an auto repair for somebody, and the customer says yes, okay. That's the exchange of commitments. It's the commitment that drives everything. And in many companies, people just talk about information and data and prices and tech talk and all this, and then they never it never rises to the level of where there's an actual commitment being exchanged. And so that's what you got to be very careful about. So this is session 8. I want to cover uh, a couple of things today with everybody. One is I want to talk about trust. Okay, so I want to share with you. This is a great book. I'm about to share with you. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to tell you about this book because it's a great book. It was written by my mentor, Dr. Fernando Flores. Did we? Am I sharing my screen? I'm on my laptop now, so I'm not used to using my laptop to do this class. Maja, could you please tell me if my screen is being shared? If you could. Oh, there we go. Okay, now it just took time. All right, so here is and Maja, again, please let me know if the screen sharing isn't working because I can't tell from here. Um, this is a book I would recommend to everybody. Not would, I do recommend to everybody. The title is Building Trust in Business, Politics, Relationships, and Life, and it is by Fernando Flores and Robert Solomon. It's a short book. It's only, I don't know, 120 pages or so long, rough estimated, but it's great. It's a great book, and so what I've done actually is I've summarized some of it, and this is in my own workbook that I've created. And on page 7 in the workbook, I taken some excerpts from the book by Flores and Solomon, and I put them in here. So I just want to read through a few of them because I think it's really, really, really important. Because in business and life, trust is essential. And it says right here, trust is the essential precondition upon which all real success depends. The key to trust is action, and in particular, Commitment. Commitments made and commitments honored. The problem of trust has clearly emerged as the problem in human relationships and organizations. What makes most companies falter, leaving aside market forces, bad products, and incompetent management, is a lack of trust. Our aim is to help people build trust, establish trust where there has been none, maintain trust when trust is in trouble, and recreate trust even when it seems that trust has been destroyed. Very powerful to be able to do that, okay? Because you'll be involved. We're human beings. Stuff happens. Accidents happen. You have to be able to repair relationships. You have to. It's a really important skill. Trust is not merely reliability, predictability, or what is sometimes understood as trustworthiness. It is always the relationship within which trust is based. It is always the relationship within which trust is based and which trust itself helps to create. The freedom provided by trust is the freedom to think for oneself and speak up with one's ideas. Really important. Trust is a matter of making and keeping commitments. And this is really, really, really important. I always quote this to people. The problem is the failure to cultivate commitment making. Trust is a matter of keeping commitments. And the problem, and we can say the problem in business, in life, is the failure to cultivate commitment making. So, with this company I'm working with, the name of the company is Tire Max. It's out of Greensboro, North Carolina. That's where I am right now in one of their stores. They have become, over the last year and a half, they have become a commitment-based organization. Commitment-based organization. Because we know, and based on what Flores is reporting here, that it's the act of making commitments that drives everything. And as we've gone through this program, we went through all the different modules in the course. It's the best, the very best that a business owner operator. This is my opinion. The very best that you can expect if you run a company is that every one of your employees, everyone who's on the team, shows up every day ready, willing, and able to do a couple of things. One, make commitments to take care of each other. Each other means the company, your coworkers. You have to be able to take care of each other. That's number one. Number two is you have to be able to make commitments. Let me say that again. You have to be able to express your commitment. Making commitments, really, really, really important, mission critical. Expressing your commitment is the key. You have to be able to express it clearly to other people. Okay. So, really important. The worst enemies of trust are cynicism, selfishness, and a naive conception of life in which one expects more than one is willing to give. Resentment, distrust, and inauthenticity are the result. Self-trust is the most basic and most often neglected form of trust. Distrust is often a projection of missing self-trust. What is self-trust? When you give your word, boom, you give it and you keep your word. And if you develop the skill, the capacity to become a commitment-oriented human being, and you make commitments and you keep commitments, and it's important to you, you will build self-trust. So whatever you say is going to happen is going to happen. That's the way that works. I want to go back. I'm going to stop sharing now for a minute. I got to find my screen again. Bear with me. There we go. So I want you to pick up that book. I recommend it strongly. The book I just shared with you. It's a great book. I want to share something with you guys because this is what we're going to talk about. Next class we're going to have, it's really, I decided we needed one more class. This is an 8-week session, not enough. We need one more. And the next one, I was going through old papers, notebooks and everything I have in my storage area in my home office. I have big, huge, I got 20 years of papers and documents and all kinds of stuff in boxes lining this whole wall. And I found an old workbook from 42 years ago when I was studying with Dr. Flores. And some questions I have, which are timeless questions, which I think I'm going to read a couple of them to you right now. And see, this is what we're going to focus on next week, right? So here's a question I was grappling with 42 years ago. I figured out the answer. Only took 42 years, not quite, but it took a while to figure out, why you're on the planet. But here's a question, right? What am I willing and capable of committing my life to? Let me repeat that. What am I willing and capable of committing my life to? What domains can I show up with credibility in? Interesting, right? What offers am I competent to make that others trust? Now here's a big one. This one I thought was really cool, and this is what we're going to talk about next week. What breakdown of human life in life am I willing to commit myself to making offers in for the rest of my life? Let me repeat that. Because this is why I said I go back to my claim that we exist. We're on the planet to help each other. That's what we do. Maj is helping me. I help her. I'm here helping my client and all their 50 some odd employees, helping them. A career, you pick a career based on what you're passionate about helping other people with, because that's what work is. Think about any company, any career. This is whether you're a doctor, a lawyer, a dentist, a truck driver, a mechanic, a house cleaner. It doesn't matter. Work, a career, is based on helping other people, typically. Doing something for others. That's what it's all about. So we're going to get into this. I just want to read this one more time because it's really important, right? What breakdown of human life? What areas of breakdown? Like here, we're dealing with auto repair and tires. It's clear. If somebody's car is broken down, their life is on hold. They can't live. You're here in Greensboro, North Carolina, or in, Tulsa, Oklahoma, or LA. If your car is broken, you can't live. So you need people. There's people like Max Gardner, whose company this is. He's my client. He's committed. And these guys, it's interesting. I was with, like I said, 50 some odd employees last night. Most of them were technicians, and most of them are men. There was one woman in the session last night. And she's a service advisor, but most of the technicians in the industry are all men. There's a few women, not many, but it's men, and their commitment to help people. They like to solve problems. They're very smart people. They know technology. But this is a domain of breakdown. They've dedicated their lives to helping people in the domain of auto repair and tires. But most importantly, what are they doing? They're helping you and me stay in the game. Because if I can't drive around, if my wife can't drive to go get groceries, we're going to struggle. Can't go pick up the drugs at the drugstore. Can't get the dry cleaning. Can't go on a business trip. The car's broken. We're out of business. So we need people like the folks I was with last night and with right now, out in the shop. We need people who dedicate themselves to fixing other people's cars. Okay. So what domain of breakdown in life do you want to focus on for the rest of your life? For me, it's communication, teaching, training, measuring, coaching people on how to communicate more effectively. And since I discovered this game, it's very hard for me to play any other game, in business. So I'm growing in this area. We have our power sales training. It's just a list of some of the things we do to help companies and help people communicate more effectively. I have this program that we're developing right now. It's 8-9 session program. Okay. I have this workbook that I just shared with you. I wrote that. We've been developing that for 20 years. Powerful document, really powerful. I mean, there's a lot of really good stuff in it. We use it every day in our teaching, training, coaching. I have an online university. I have created a YouTube channel for people. You can go to Malloy Power Sales Training and you see all the videos. I got like 100 videos up there, all about all different aspects of communication, right? We do call tracking. Why do we do call tracking? We do that to be able to, so we can get the calls, analyze the calls, and then talk with our students and our clients. I have, and the call tracking application it's not just a call track. It handles telephone calls. It records the calls. It handles voicemail. It handles text messages. It handles form submissions. It handles all kinds. It's a unified communication platform. Really powerful. Really powerful. So we get in. These are some of the things that we do and we offer all our clients. Okay. Now, what I want to do the rest of this session, I got about 15, 20 minutes or so. What I'm going to do is go over something I call the foundation for results. The question is, where do results come from in life? Right? And why are we doing all this stuff on communication? I'm going to show you. I think this is a very good model and something that's going to be hit home with you folks. So here we go. I'm sharing my screen. Maja, please let me know as long as the screen is being shared.
Yes, it is.
It's good. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm in my workbook again. I'm not this section. I'm going to work on this section here today. Okay, so here's what this is about, the foundation for results. The question is, where do results come from in life? All results, right? So what I want to do is I want to look at, let's just say that we're talking about new results. So I'm talking about you and me inventing and creating a goal for something that doesn't exist. That's what I'm saying is new results. Where are these new bigger results coming from? So let's say, what are some examples of results that you might want to achieve in your personal life, right? One is obviously people always say, I want to make more money. Okay. I want to grow my business. Fabulous. I want to run a marathon. Amazing. I want to lose weight. I want to quit smoking. What else? I want to go to school. I want to go on vacation. Whatever the result is, the goal, whatever you're trying to accomplish, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about new results. So here's what this said. And this is why this is built in like a pyramid. Okay, because we're going to go work down the pyramid. So if we want new results, it implies that we have to take new action. If you don't take new actions, you're not going to get the new results, meaning that if you do the same old, you're going to get the same old results. It can't change. You need to take new actions. How do you discover what actions you need to take? Well, you have to look in a bigger field called viable options, new viable options. So it's like Max here wants to grow his company. Well, I could call an advertising agency. I could call Malloy, right? I could call some other type of consultant to come in. I could hire more people. I could open more stores. Lots of different options that Max could take to grow this business, right? So, but what he's looking for are really viable options, new viable options. And that's where I came along and I presented him with new viable option. And his business has grown from like 4.2 7 million, 4.8 million, something like that, a year and a half ago. Now he's doing, right now he's on his way to doing 8.5 million. It's only a year and a half later, and he's going at that level. And I just came from a breakfast this morning, and with Max and the senior leadership team of the company. There's 5 of us at the meeting, and we talked about what's it going to take to get us to 10 million. And the goal, just so you understand, the goal for Max when we started this a year and a half ago was to get to 10 million in 5 years. This is year 2, and there's a chance that we could achieve 10 million in the second year of doing this. So we want to look at options, new viable options, so we could take new actions to get those new bigger results. Well, where do options come from? We have to look in a bigger field, slightly bigger field, called all possibilities. So you think of possibilities and you think of a brainstorming session, right? So just using Max as an example, kind of like we did last night, we got all 50 some odd employees together, and we were all in this one big conference center, and it was a great session. We videotaped it. I'm going to make it available to everybody because we had such a wonderful session, but the possibilities is what we need. So if you want to achieve these new results, you want to go from 4.8 million to 10 million, you need some new possibilities. This is where you have to look. You need new possibilities, because if you don't have new possibilities, if you don't know where they come from, it's going to be hard to find the new viable options and to take the new actions and produce the results you want. It's not going to happen. So you, as a business person, as a human being, you have to have new possibilities, lots of them. So it's kind of like a brainstorming session, where you get together and you say, I call it a conversation for possibilities. You have to declare that, okay, you have a meeting, you pull your team together and say, all right, folks, here's what we're going to do right now. We're going to have a brainstorming session. We come up with new ideas for how to improve the business. Where do new possibilities come from? That becomes the real question. Okay. And so the bottom box is the biggest. This is the foundation in this infographic, in this model. The foundation for relationships. The foundation, the possibilities come from people. It doesn't come out of thin air. It comes out of ideas that people share in the brainstorming session. If you have a good brainstorming session with people that you trust, you have respect for, you have freedom of expression, meaning that anybody can come into this brainstorming session and share ideas with you. Their ideas are valid, no matter how wacky the idea is. You go, wow, thank you. What a great idea. I'll consider it. And we have shared commitment. So these 4 bullet points are the fabric, the foundation, the building blocks of solid relationships, open relationships, meaning the freedom of expression that anybody could come to you if you're a boss or you're hosting one of these meetings, that anybody could come to the meeting and share their ideas without fear of recrimination or retribution of any kind. They can say whatever wacky idea they want to say and nobody's going to kill them. Really important that that's the case. Okay. So you need, when you get together to have a brainstorming session, you need to have trust, big trust. You need to have respect. What is trust anyway? Let's just look at that real quick. What is trust? And that's why I bring it up. It's part of the foundation. That's what Flores said, right? Trust. All results are based on trust. You don't work with people if you don't trust them. That's a big, huge part of it. But what does trust mean? It means that what people say and their actions line up. that what they say is what they mean, and what they mean is what they say, and that they speak what for them is the truth. And you could trust that they're going to share with you their truth. What is respect? Respect, I look at and say, okay. I mean, again, you're probably not going to want to work with people that you don't respect. Okay, I look at respect and I say it's like a continuum. It's a spectrum. On the low end is what I would call disrespect. On the high end, I would say is admiration. So when you go through life, and in my music, I really admire and respect Eric Clapton. So I do. My wife and I have a show we produce. It's called the Clapton Project, and I respect what this artist has done. He's the only artist that's ever been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 3 separate times. Once with the Yardbirds, once with Cream, the band Cream, and then once as an individual artist. He's the only one ever to have that happen. So I respect him for that, and so I cover a lot of his work. Right. So respect. On the high end is admiration. You want to emulate somebody. That's the highest form of respect. That you want to emulate somebody, and we all do that. As a kid playing basketball, I wanted to play like this one, or Walt Frazier, or Dick Barnett, or whatever. So you emulate people. Okay. What does freedom of expression mean? It means that this is similar to trust. That you can show up in that meeting and you can share your ideas and nobody's going to come after you. Why is this really important? Now I want to see. I got to see something here. If I can go in, Manja, are you still there, dear?
Yes.
Can I draw? Is there anything I can use in this is StreamYard to draw?
No, it has to be in your.
It doesn't. Okay. Okay. I want.
Yeah.
Well, maybe this will work here. Okay. Cool. I got something here I can use. Oh, here's a pen. All right. Good.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's a signature. I don't want that. I don't want that. Shouldn't be experimenting right now. That's not good. But all right, I'm not going to do that right now. But anyway, for next time, I want to be able to draw on this. But here's the point of this whole model, that the results. Here's what it says: new results in life or in business are going to come from the people, the network that you're in, the people that work with you, your coworkers, friends, consultants, people that you work with that you can really dig in and you have a strong relationship, and that you can get together and dream up new possibilities. You can dream up and declare, I want to use the right language, declare new possibilities. That's powerful when you can do that. This is what leaders do. This is what Max was doing last night. He was declaring a new possibility for the future for the whole company. Right? And the more likely, like how he grew from 4.7 million up to going to 8 million this year, 9 million, 10 million perhaps. How he's doing that is out of the relationship with his team. That's the key. It's got to be good. So we're going around today. We're following up with people that were at the meeting, shaking hands, building relationship, acknowledging people. We're building trust and respect and freedom of expression and shared commitment. We're building that by design inside his company. And he's going to get to 10 million. I wouldn't be surprised if they do it this year, by the end of the year. So it's really, really, really cool. So the really opening up and creating all these wonderful results is based on the relationships that we have with people and the powerful relationships. So the game really is that being able to use language to build the relationship. So we come back over here. These are the 6 moves. Remember, we went through this already. How do you do that? Remember, I said, here's the model, just to recap again, the model for effective communication for everybody. This is my own model. I think it applies. I've been using it now for 20 some odd years, and it's wonderful, right? The first gray box. You want to have conversations for relationship and possibilities. You want to build relationship with people. That's what you want to do. Build trust, build credibility, build relationship. That's number one. Number two, you want to have conversations that produce the action that you want. Remember, we go back to the other. What was the top box? Not the top. Second box is action. You got to take new actions. If you don't take new actions, you're not going to get the new results. So the thing that you have to remember is that getting new possibilities, getting in touch with them. This is why I like working with Manja, because she's a very creative woman, very creative, and she comes up with new ideas all the time. And so I like that, because I know
Thank you,
that's
Dan.
pardon.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's true. I tell you this all the time, because I want to continue that. This is really valuable in business, to have people that are creative like that, can come up with new ideas and dream up new things and solve problems and all this kind of stuff. So where do new possibilities come from? They come from, you declare them. You're sitting in a brainstorming meeting, someone goes, "Oh, I got an idea." You declare it. I got their new idea, and they make an offer. They make some type of statement, or it could be in the form of an offer. We want to grow sales here. Give you an idea, right? And we're having a brainstorming session. And I come in one day, and I'm a relatively new employee, and I declare, "Oh, I got a friend in the blimp business. So what we're going to do is attach a big blimp to every store in the chain and fly above the store. Not the Goodyear blimp, the Tire Max blimp. We're going to have giant blimps flying above all the stores. This is my idea." Now, the worst thing you can do if you're running a brainstorming session, when I come up with this wacky idea, the worst thing you can do if you're leading the meeting is to say, "Well, that's a really stupid idea, Dan." Because what happens, you look back at the other model, and what happens is, by you, if you have, say, 10 people in a brainstorming session, and I go to, say, Maja came in and she came up with this wacky idea to grow the business, just off the wall, silly idea. And so in front of the whole room, I say to Maja, "Well, it's not a very good idea, Maja. We're not going to do that. Who has a good idea?" Not useful, because what happens is, let me ask you, Maja, since you're a part of this session now. If I humiliated you like that and I said, "Maja, that's not a good idea," who's got a good idea? If I said that to you in that meeting in front of 8 or 9 of your colleagues, are you ever going to bring me another new idea?
For sure, I will be brokenhearted, but then I'm going to take my idea and implement it and
Somewhere
say,
else.
"Dan, you see, I told you.
Well,
I
that's
told you
you.
it was a good idea."
That's you. But most people are going to get humiliated like that, and the trust is destroyed, the respect is destroyed. There's no freedom of expression,
Yeah.
and so this box shrinks down to nothing. That's why I wanted to draw here
Plus,
on the.
the other people will be as well scared to open their mouth because you
What did
might
I?
critique their idea as well in the negative way.
Yes, exactly. So look what I did. I don't know how I did this, but I created this thing here where I can create dots, but I could draw like this. Look, so here's what happens. Well, you had a
Mhm.
big, powerful relationship, and now, because I humiliated you in front of everybody, the box is shrunk down.
Yeah.
The trust got eroded. The respect got eroded. There's no freedom of expression. There's no shared commitment. You're
Mhm.
questioning why you say, "Look, if he's going to say you're a new employee
Mhm.
and this is your first brainstorming session," and I said, "Well, it's not a good idea, Maja. It's like, we're not going to do that. I'm not even going to consider it." Excuse me. You're not going to bring any other ideas to the table. So here's the overall point, folks, about this whole thing. The results are tied directly to this bottom box. So if your business or in your life, you're not producing the results that you want to produce, you got to look to the relationships.
Mm.
You have to look at the relationships, and you have to figure, how am I going to build trust? How am I going to build the respect? How am I going to repair it? Maybe it's got to be repaired. Maybe you need to go to that person that you humiliated and say, "Look, I apologize. I'm sorry. I should never have said that," and
Mm.
explain, and try and repair it. So what we're going to do next week? This is it for today. So I'm thrilled. This is module 8 in the session. Next week, what we're going to do is really look at how we tie this everything together, and how we use the language to really invent some new possibilities for ourselves. That's what we're going to work on next week, and how we grapple with some of these issues, that I raised in question, that I started giving you from my notes from 42 years ago. Really looking at, what I mean, how do you determine? So this is like having a conversation for possibilities. I want to do that with you next week. Have conversations for possibilities, and maybe, mind you, we could do that together. We could kind of do a role play. Maybe that would be interesting, where we could talk about different ideas and things like that, and see what we could dream up right on the spot in real time. I think it'd be interesting. You know, um,
Okay.
and then to put it on the court. I mean, because here we've done 8 weeks of going over all this stuff. It's all great theory and all that, but how do you really put it on the court? That's the game for all of us, for each human being. We're on the planet for a short period of time, and we want to produce results. Make money and just produce results, whatever that is for you. So anyway, listen, Maja, I'm done for right now today. So you can come back. We can.
Yes.
Any thoughts, observations on what I shared today?
Everything what you say is so important for work purposes, for growing, and for personal life.
Hmm. Yes.
If we want to be true to ourselves, and how we want to be treated by others, this is actually kind of like you invented the 10 commandments of business behavior.
Well, business behavior. Yeah. All right. The Ten
Yes,
Commandments.
to be successful. Yes.
Does that imply that I'm Moses?
Yes,
That's
you
funny.
received it.
Yes, I received it from God. Well, actually, I listen. It's interesting, but I am committed to helping people communicate and to have what they want in their
Hmm.
lives. And you have to. It's really it's pretty logical. We have to dream up new ideas, and where they come from
Yeah.
is from other people. Ideas, so important, and that understanding how that all happens and how we can create them, and how to. That's how my business started. I had an idea to do this. It's an idea, and I go to people, I
Hmm.
explain the idea, and they go, "Okay, I'm in." And that's how I'm here now for a
Hmm.
year and a half. Other clients I work with for 20 years, and because you got to keep bringing new ideas and new thinking to the table, and that's what produces value for people. New ideas, and they go, "Oh wow, okay, yeah, cool, we could do that. Let's do it. Let's try it and
Hmm.
see if it can help us make more money, sell more of whatever we're selling, bring more
And,
satisfaction."
and you need new ideas because the environment is always changing.
Yes, great point. Yes.
And then there's the competition, so you need to stand out.
What do you mean?
And
Say that again. Say
there
that
is the
again.
competition.
Oh
There is
yeah.
competition.
Yes.
So you need to make yourself stand out. How are you going to stand out? Providing better service, communicating better, bringing new ideas.
Well,
It's
I mean,
it's
that's
all
one of the
important.
you bring up a great point. That's one of the things that they institute here. They have a policy that every month in all their 6 stores, you have to call out and mystery shop the competition. So you can
Ah,
you can
cool.
he- you can hear how they're communicating with customers. And in this industry, in the auto repair and tire industry, the threshold for having a great is very low because they don't communicate well at all. That's why I work with a lot of them, because they never
Mm-hmm.
realize that's the key is how you communicate. The business runs on communication. People don't think about that.
Mm-hmm.
We also work in, just so everybody knows, we work in a lot of different industries, not just auto repair. We have glass clients and propane clients, and medical and dental. I have an appointment with
Mm-hmm.
a big dental company next week. Big chain of dental offices. This is identical. Dental and
Mm-hmm.
automotive are the same. Well, obviously one's working, but here's what I mean by the same. The same customers go get their cars repaired, go to the dentist. It's identical customers, right? In the business itself, it's you got some special person behind the glass wall that has special tools, knowledge, and equipment. The dentist and the master technician. Then
Mm-hmm.
you have somebody up front who smiles and who handles the phone and makes the appointments and does the billing and insurance. It's identical. Auto repair and dentistry is the same thing, same exact business.
Dan, I just got a crazy idea.
This is what I'm talking about. See, this is how ideas come from. Wow, I can't wait to hear it. Crazy
Okay.
idea. The
Are you
crazier, the better.
are you sitting?
I'm sitting. Yes. Should I be? Yes. I'm holding on now too. I can't wait.
Yes,
What's the
please.
idea?
What about taking the trained auto industry salespeople or technicians and taking them for a day to a dentist office and picking up the phone?
Oh, scary, scary.
I
Well,
know,
it'd be interesting. It actually would be.
just a crazy idea.
It actually would be very interesting. But it's the same conversation. They have
Yes,
similar
I can
conversation.
help you with that.
Well, watch. But here's what happened. This is why I can work and use my program in all these different industries, because it's the same thing over and over and over again. Right? It's really interesting what you
Hmm.
brought up. The customer in the auto repair and tire industry wakes up one day and they go, "I have a problem." They declare it's an
Hmm.
assessment. You go back to the training, which we went through already. You can declare in the form of an assessment. She says, "Oh, I have a problem with my car. The check engine light's on and the brakes are grinding. I think I need." So then they call up the auto repair place, the place I'm in right now. Phone's ringing in here now, and they say, "Look, I have a problem with my vehicle. I have a check engine light on, and the brakes are grinding. How much is a brake job?" In the dentist office, and I've listened to thousands and thousands of dental calls. It's the same thing, identical. They wake up in the
Hmm.
morning, oh, I have a problem with my tooth. This happened to me 2 weeks ago. I had an old wisdom tooth, and half of it broke off. Right, it's old. I'm old. The teeth are old too. So I call the dentist. I have a problem. Right, I got now I know how much he's going to charge me to fix it because I've gone to this dentist for 25 years. Right, so I know what he's going to charge me, $150 to fill it, and fix it up. I know that already, but that's not my point. My point is the customers have the same types of conversations. Oh, I have a problem. How much? How much is it to repair a filling? How much is it for a crown? How much is it for to pull a tooth?
Yeah,
And
how long
so
it will take?
how long is it going to? When can I get in? No, 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 no. It's just exactly the same conversations, two different industries. And it's really the same in others. People call you with their problems. This is what I'm saying. Companies exist to help other people. And so the sooner we realize that, and the sooner that we can express our commitment to help you if you're the customer. That's the game. That's why I call my program the language of commitment, because you have to express your commitment to help them. That's what they want. More than price. I'm certain about it. Way more than price. They want to know that you are competent, skilled, super knowledgeable, friendly, and sincere. And when they can check off all those boxes, then they'll be straight with you. They'll tell you what's really going on with them. Up front they might not, especially new customers. See, if I'm an existing customer of yours. You're the dentist. I call him and say, look, I have a problem. I need to see you today. You don't even think about price. You just got to get that tooth fixed. Same thing in a car. If you need that truck, just come in, just fix it. I got to go on a trip. Don't even worry about it. Just tell me what it's going to be. I'll take care of it. So
Mhm.
that's it for today. We could go on for hours about this stuff, but I appreciate you. I appreciate, our partnership in doing this. And next week we're going to have one more session, and this session is going to be really about answering some of these other questions that I have. Like what domain of human breakdown are you willing to commit yourself to for the rest of your life? Think about it. It's a
Mm.
big question. But if you can
Perfect.
address that, if you can figure that one out, then it becomes very interesting, because then you can attack, you can dive in like I've done in this domain of communication
Mhm.
or auto repair, marketing, whatever domain is. So I'll see you next
Okay,
week.
thank you everyone. Thank you, Dan,
Thank you,
so
guys.
much.
Thank you.
See you next time.
See you next Wednesday. Bye-bye now.